growing up as a kid, my two idols in football were David Beckham and Brazilian Ronaldo.
Okay.
And I've been lucky enough to meet and work with both of them. Wow. So really tough. Do you know what? I'd go with Messi. I'd go with Lionel Messi.
Oh, you've actually met Messi? I didn't know you'd met him.
Yeah. If you scroll further down on the Instagram, you'll find
I'll find it. Hello, guys, and welcome back to the Reality Check podcast. Now, just before today's episode, I need to give a shout out to Reboots UK. They are sponsored today's video, and as you can see on screen now, they are a football boots customs service. Basically, what they do blackouts on football boots, stud conversions, tongue strap modifications, and any minor repairs you've got to your football boots. These guys are insane. As you can see here, they've got some quality products, especially these are my favorites. These reboots that they've done, Adidas Predator, Accelerator 19s, old school boots. Old school football fans will know how insane these boots were. Go and check them out, Reboots UK, and I'll show you the boots they have provided me in just a second. So guys, today's sponsor, Reboot Customs, have just sent me these naughty little boots. Check them out, right? We've got the Nike Premier's full blackout edition, right? I wanted a really simple boot from them. So the tick here is normally got colour, as has the Nike wording at the back, but they've basically blacked out the whole boot to make it look as slick as possible. They've also added the black laces and the short tongue modification on the top. These guys can edit any pair of boots you want. They've got their own boots in stock, lots of stock on at the moment. So if you want to go check them out, Reboot Customs, to get your own pair of naughty little boots for the upcoming season.
3, 2, 1. The Reality Check podcast is inbound. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Please be advised this video may contain strong language and adult themes.
Hello guys, and welcome back to the Reality Check podcast. Now today we are yet again joined with a very special guest, but just before I introduce him to you, I'm going to show you what he does. Have a look at this. Yes, guys. So we have today 5 times freestyle world champion, Mr. Andrew Henderson. Andrew, thank you so much for coming on, buddy.
No, thank you, mate. It's good to chat to you, mate, fellow Cornishman. So
definitely.
Yeah, good to have a chat, mate. Yeah.
Yes, brilliant. So we're gonna have a chat, all things football. Obviously, you're a freestyler. We'll have a chat about that. I mean, you've definitely met some famous faces in your time as well. So we'll chat about that. But I mean, firstly, it goes without saying, how's everything in lockdown? How are you handling things?
Yeah, thanks for asking, man. It's a tough time for everyone, and I guess for me, I kind of. Obviously there are so many different things that have changed with my life. Like most of my career, I've been traveling all around the world. I've been to over 50 countries, kind of just doing my freestyle football skills. So the fact that I can't travel now has massively affected it. For me, the fact that the Euros are postponed, I had a lot of sponsors and things like that, which, I don't have to, I can't fulfill those commitments anymore.
Yeah.
So it's been tough in many ways, but actually it's, I can't complain, man, because I can still do a lot of stuff online. I can still share my passion online, and I can still inspire kids and teach people all around the world, how to stay active during these times. So I feel like I have to step up my game online at the moment. And freestyle is such a visual thing that's kind of got its own little virality online. So yeah, man, it's been a new challenge, but one that I think I've adapted to, and I feel very, very grateful that I can still continue to work in other ways. So it's been different, man. Yeah, it's been different.
Definitely. I mean, I saw recently, actually, I checked out your TikTok profile, because that's obviously all booted off recently. What are you doing on there? I saw you got like 1.7 million kind of views on, like, followers on that. So how did you get into that?
Yeah, so just hit 1.7 million. So that was it's crazy when you think about that many people follow your content. Like that's just a weird thing, man. But I don't know what it was. It's just like, I know that predominantly kids, well, initially it was just kids on TikTok, and my main demographic, like they're the future, right? And like me being able to teach them skills and be able to motivate them, that's like me playing my part in sort of passing things down, right? So TikTok's the best platform for that, really. Instagram's great, of course, YouTube's great for that as well, and some of the other platforms. But I actually I actually really like it. I like the simplicity of it. You can shoot something on your phone. It doesn't have to be all edited and cropped down and, you know, special effects. You can just shoot something on your phone, and there's a lot of cool effects in app that you can use. So I actually find it really easy to use, and you know, the kids go crazy on that. You reply to a comment to a kid on TikTok, it like makes their life. So that for me, like something that I actually have to spend a lot of time on. I think I've already uploaded 2 TikToks today. I've got another one for tonight. So, you know, initially it was such a funny app, you know, you look at how it is in a way, but when it first started, it was called Musical.ly. I don't know if you remember. And it was a lip syncing app where you'd lip sync like to music. So that was funny, man. And I was actually one of the first creators that didn't do lip syncing on it. That actually, I've never done that, by the way. So just for the record, I don't like one of the TikTokers, you know, like the cheesy TikTokers. I'm not giving in to trying to get views from lip sync.
Because all of yours is they're all like tutorials on how to do tricks, aren't they? That's what yours are.
Yeah, it's not all of the videos. You know, I'll post actually a lot of the content that I post on Instagram where I'm doing skills with pro football players, or doing random stuff, skills with random objects or trick shots, or, you know, anything that I think people would like to see, or sharing a bit of my life and what I'm up to. But yeah, recently I've been doing a lot of tutorials. There's a thing called there's a hashtag going around that's trending at the moment called Learn to TikTok, and it's just like people doing tutorials on TikTok. That's what TikTok's really trying to promote, and that's why I'm really happy that I sound like I'm an ambassador for TikTok, right? That's why I'm happy using it, because that's why I'm really happy using it, because they're actually educating, and that's really what I'm trying to do online. I actually created my own masterclass online at the moment called Freestyle Football Masterclass. It's a website, and it's basically like a subscription service to teach people how to go from never doing skills with the ball, never even doing kick-ups, to be able to potentially be a professional freestyler one day, or at least do enough skills to impress their mates. So, you know, in these times especially, that's the sort of stuff I try to focus on, because that stuff matters, you know.
Definitely. Okay, I mean, obviously freestyle is your career, it's your passion. I mean, how did you get into it? Like, how did you start doing all these tricks and entering these competitions?
Yeah, that's a good question, man. Actually, we had a little bit of a background conversation before this podcast, and you know that I used to play rugby, and I actually got into freestyle as a result of a bad injury from playing rugby. Okay. So I played rugby down in Cornwall. I actually played for Penryn. So I played for Truro for many years now. I moved over to Penryn and played in the game there. A cup game, and I got the ball. I was pumped up for the game. All got picked up in the air at the start of the game. Went to me, and I was like, "All right, let's go!" And I started running up the line. Went to step inside. My foot stuck in the mud. It was like a waterlogged pitch a bit. Yeah, it's standard Cornwall rugby pitch.
Standard Cornwall.
And then I just felt my leg go, and then I threw the ball, and I was like, oh my God, something's happened that I've never felt before. All the forwards piled on top of me from the other team. And it was funny because a lot of the other team was actually Truro. So it was very ironic. It was very funny moments. People that I went with, a lot of my schoolmates, they all played for Truro or other clubs, and I was the only one from that school that played for Penryn because I did the switch. So it was a funny little thing that happened. Taken out, and and then I snapped it real bad. Ended up being told that I might not ever be able to walk again, let alone play sport again. Got a metal plate and 9 screws inserted into my left leg and ankle. Oh God! And you know, that was at the age of 16, man. So it was like one of those times where like all I've ever loved and known is sport, and it's all I've ever been good at, right? So, you know, it was like crazy when the doctors told me like I might not ever be able to play sport again or walk again. It was like, what?
Yeah, but that was horrible.
What do I do? Like, this is crazy. It was like my life was over. And then when I started rehabbing, I saw a video of some freestyle tricks, and it was I think it was Brazilian Ronaldo. Was Ronaldo Lima was doing some tricks in an advert, and then I saw a few more videos, and I was like, this can't be possible. Like, the ball looks like it's on a string, or like in a video, you know. And I found out like, no, this is a real thing. So I started learning the basics. Even with my leg in a cast, I was trying to balance the ball on my head, on the side of my head. There's actually on YouTube of me back in like 2008, trying to do tricks like with my leg in the cast.
Really?
And when I started walking again, it helped me develop my get my motor skills back, and just kind of went from there. And then I found out Red Bull were doing a competition in freestyle. They were doing a UK championships, and I built up my level, and I just started doing my A levels actually. So I used to. When I found out about the competition, I started like, okay, I'm going to take this serious because I enjoy it a lot. I couldn't quite go back to contact sports, so I kind of put them on hold for a little bit. But I could move fully, but I wasn't like ready to.
Impact.
Doing crunch sports again, you know.
So
I continued with the freestyle for a bit, and then I ended up just loving it. The thing that I love the most about it is it just gets better the better you get. So the more skills you have, the more you can play with, and it's just so fun. And you know, you learn there's nothing quite like learning a new skill in it. Like the sense of satisfaction that you accomplished that, and you makes you feel more worthy. You know, you feel more valuable. Like damn, I landed a skill. I actually can do this. Like, because there are a lot of skills that I can do now that I never thought I'd be able to do. So yeah, when I found out about that competition Red Bull were doing, it was a UK qualifier. The nearest region to qualify was in Bristol. Yeah. So I traveled up to Bristol, competed in that, ended up passing through that round, got to the next round, and then eventually got on to the UK finals, which was in London. Yeah. And so I traveled up from Cornwall to London, competed, and ended up winning on my first try in the UK Nationals, and became the youngest UK champion ever at the age of 17. Wow. Okay. And I qualified for the World Championships as a result of that, which would be in April the following year. So this was all during my A-levels. So I was doing 4 A-levels at the time, and you know, I skipped a lot of class, man.
I bet.
A lot of class. We had a law building. It was kind of like on the side of the college. Yeah. And did you go to Truro College?
No, I went to Truro School Sixth Form.
Truro School Sixth Form. Okay, yeah, I see. But in Truro College, there's this law building down in the corner, and there's a nice little path on the side of it that was kind of hidden. Okay. And I used to give some of my wallet, get them to scan me into the class to get my attendance so that I could take exams. You know, and I mean, looking back on it, it was the right choice because.
Oh yeah, it's paid off, isn't it? It's paid off.
Right. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. But yeah, I think so. And you know, it's kind of a weird thing. I just had a good feeling about what I was doing, and I enjoyed it. And I knew that, you know, I'd qualified for a world champs. I was national champion. I got my A-levels to do. I wanted to do my A-levels and get them. Yeah. I knew that maybe this freestyle thing will only last a few years. Maybe it's a fad. Maybe it's like, maybe I can't be the best. But I knew that I was qualifying for the world champs. I loved it, and I had an opportunity.
Yeah, so definitely.
It was like my escape, my way out. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to put my all into this. So despite what my parents wanted me to do and the teachers wanted me to do, I trained my ass off every day. And I ended up actually coming 9th out of 54 in that first World Champs. Okay. I was 18. And then I had the choice because I passed my A-levels. Yeah. So I had the choice, go to university or try and make this work, try and make a living.
Was it a tough decision? Because obviously it's quite a risk you're taking.
Very tough, man, because there was no blueprint. There was no one to look at and be like, he did it, so I can do it. It was like, freestyle wasn't even that popular at the time, so it's not like it is now where like, you know, you see loads of guys doing ads with pro football players and followers. That didn't exist then. So when I did it, it was purely based on passion. And it was like, can I even make a living from this? I don't know, but I loved it. And I loved how it made me feel. So I was like, I want to be the best at this. I want to be a world now. I've come 9th, and I've still kind of, you know, I came 9th 2 years after I got told I'll never be able to walk again.
Yeah, that's an accomplishment, to be fair.
Yeah, a year and a half after that injury, I won a UK champs. So, you know, I was like, you know what, I can do this. If I put all my effort into it, and then I became obsessed, tunnel vision, diet, you know, everything. Like I would just be like, just on a mission every day. And, you know, that comes with sacrifices, man. That comes with social life sacrifices. That comes with a lot of sacrifice. And, you know, thankfully it all turned out all right.
It all turned out.
The next year in 2011, I became world champion. And
I was going to say, so that was so your second year of competing at Worlds was the first one you won.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. And how was that? What was that like?
Yeah, it was obviously that was my dream come true. But actually, there's a bit of a twist to the tale because the first one, like I was talking about before, that was 2010. That was in South Africa where I came ninth.
Yeah.
Then 2011, it was in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, and that's where I won. And that's where I was actually I only just qualified as well for that tournament.
Yeah.
After the World Championships the year before, I got so depressed from, I came ninth, which is a good achievement, but I was going in there for gold.
Okay.
So I was so down about it. And I just turned 18. Well, I've been 18 for about 5-6 months and hadn't been able to enjoy the things an 18-year-old wants to enjoy. The socializing aspects and going out and that sort of thing. I hadn't done that because I had a goal. And so I started enjoying that a bit and not training as much because I was a bit down about my results. And I just thought that was my one opportunity to be a world champ.
Okay.
And then I started picking up the pieces and then I built up my level. And then it slowly but surely I was like, okay, I can qualify again. I qualified the first time. Why can't I do it again?
Yeah.
And then I won. And then it was like you're 19 years old. You've just achieved your lifelong goal. Like as a kid, I wanted to be a world champion at a sport that I loved, or play for my country for the sport that I loved. So to be a world champion at a sport that I found a passion for, I did not expect it to be freestyle growing up. I thought it'd be football, rugby, or something else. But that had always been in my head, like a sport that I loved. And at the age of 19, stood there with, achieving your lifelong dream. You'd think that I'd be the happiest man in the world.
Yeah, yeah.
But I wasn't, because it was like, what's next? Like, I'm 19. It's not life over. It's not mission complete. Like, what do I do for the rest of my life? I'm 19. I'm only just beginning my life, really. It was very hard for me, man. Like, I got back home to Cornwall after that, expecting my life to change like everyone else does. And, growing up in Cornwall, you know what it's like, that like people have a different like they have their view on things is kind of they don't really see it as much because there's not there's not that many famous people down in Cornwall. Yeah,
it's a very sheltered kind of situation, isn't it? Like because of the opportunities are a lot less, you've got to make a lot more of it.
Absolutely. So a lot of people they think that I was living the high life and all this sort of thing, but I was actually not too happy after winning that because I had nothing left. So then I started realizing, like, you've got to always set new goals.
Yeah, definitely.
New goals, and that changed my mindset on things. And that's why I wanted to not be the world champ. I wanted to be the best ever. So that was my next mission, is like win as so. After winning 5 in a row, I felt like I'd achieved that, and that's why I sort of retired from the competitive.
So you won all of your 5 world titles. You won back to back.
Yeah, back to back years. So
that's immense.
2011 to the end of 2016, and then I retired 2017.
Wow. I mean, so in terms of the actual competition, what's the kind of structure to a world championships? How does it work? Is it like certain rounds, or is it like you get one chance? How does it work?
Yes, that's a good question. So basically, the structure is it's a battle format. So I don't know if you've seen like a breakdance battle or something. Same sort of thing. Yeah. You're on a stage, the music's playing. You got 3 minutes on the clock, and I'm 1v1. So I got the ball for 30 seconds. I pass it over to Curtis. Curtis does 30 seconds back to me, and we have 3 rounds each, 30 seconds, and then the winner is the person that did the best. So the judges vote, and there's normally 5 judges. And the criteria is kind of like style, control, technicality. They deduct marks for like drops. They add marks for like creative moves or new tricks or good combinations, like mixing tricks. And if you reply to your opponent, like he does a double and then you reply with a triple, they're like, okay, that's a triple, kind of what I'm talking, then they love it. One up them. So that's how it goes. But yeah, normally it's straight knockout in the Worlds. Yeah, so it's pretty.
Really? So if you lose on the first go, you're going out.
It's all about It's all about handling the pressure, because if you can't handle the pressure, you might make a drop. The ball could go off the stage. It takes a bit of time to get it back, and then you lose your chances. So yeah, drops can cost you. But Yeah.
That's crazy. I didn't realize there was that much pressure in terms of if you literally messed up and, like you said, you didn't recover from it, you're literally going home. Like, I didn't realize it was that savage.
It is, man. It's a savage one for sure. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, so obviously in between doing these competition stuff, you have met a lot of famous people. You've done some videos with some of the best footballers in the world, for example, Cristiano Ronaldo. Out of the people that you've met, I mean, like, who's kind of up there for you in terms of like idols, in terms of just people you were like, I can't believe I've met you?
Yeah. That's a good question, man. I got to rack my brains for a little bit. I would say growing up as a kid, my two idols in football were David Beckham and Brazilian Ronaldo.
Okay.
And I've been lucky enough to meet and work with both of them. Wow. So for me, that was like crazy. That was pretty special. I got I don't ever get starstruck. But the one time I'd say I got a tiny bit starstruck was meeting David Beckham. I was out in Macau, we were on some kind of like the Chinese Hollywood equivalent of the Hollywood stars from China, but the Chinese version.
Yeah.
I'm not explaining it very well at all, but please forgive me. I hope you get what I mean. So yeah, we were doing a performance for them in the Venetian Hotel in Macau, and
wow.
David was there doing sort of kind of like a Q&A, and he's one of the ambassadors of the project that they were doing. And I met him. He actually, this is the most surreal moment I think I can't think of a more surreal moment, right? Because he was on stage doing a Q&A. I sat down with him on stage for a little bit doing a kind of Q&A as well. Then I did a performance. So sometimes I do a performance like to the beat of the music, doing tricks, kind of like a dancer would do a dance or a show, or a singer would perform. I'd perform with my skills. And then after him and his management were watching me from the side of the stage, Simon and Olivier. So after Simon, his manager, came up to me and he goes, Andrew, that was a great show. Sir David Beckham would like to invite you to have a chat with him backstage. Wow. And I was like, sounds cool to me, man. So invite me in the backstage, and it was just me and him, and we spent about 30-40 minutes together just sort of chatting about random stuff, life, what you're up to, different things. And I won't go into the type of things we were talking about, but one of the most surreal moments was there was a overhead projector on the other side of the backstage, so we could see the screen from the stage. We could see the back of it, and it played it in reverse, in like a mirrored image to us in the backstage. And they played the free kick that he scored against Greece. The free kick that everyone remembers to send us to the World Cup. So that end of the game free kick, and me and him stood there watching that together, me looking at him and watching that at the same time, and feeling his emotions still to this day. Crazy. That's got one of the weirdest things, because I remember where I was when he scored that free kick. That brought things kind of full circle for me. So I
bet that was such a surreal experience.
That's got to be one of the most bizarre experiences. But those two, they're probably my kind of like idols that I've met. And then kind of good guys, fun guys that I get on with, or like more like, like Neymar. I've worked with Neymar, I don't know how many times. Like, I can't even count how many times I worked with him. He's like a good friend. Like, he's a good guy. We're the same age, so we just kind of like, we both understand that we've got a professional like job, and we have to like live up to those expectations. But we also know that we're just kids deep down, so we want to have fun and enjoy the journey. So it's nice, like, doing some freestyle with him. Of course, he's Brazilian, so he's got that Brazilian
flair,
spirit, the flair, and he's very skillful as well. So it's awesome with him, and there's so many other guys as well that I get on with along the way as well. So.
Definitely. I mean, what I've done with a couple of my other guests is kind of do like it's like a teammates kind of soccer AM style game, but obviously they're not your teammates. However, you have met, like you said, a lot of famous footballers. So what I'm going to do is I've just got 3 or 4 of these to go through with you. If you can just give me the answer to the following. So out of the people you've ever met, who is the most skillful player?
Christian Fuchs, Leicester defender.
Okay. I think I actually saw you do a video with him, didn't you?
Yeah, I've done. Yeah, he's like one of my best mates. Really is one of my best mates. I stay with him every year in New York, and really good friend of mine. And we work together a lot on his skills, but he's very, very skillful. He's an unexpected skiller.
Yeah, you wouldn't expect that, would you?
At the expected ones, it's between Ronaldo and Neymar. But
Okay.
yeah, sorry, back to the quickfire. Sorry about that.
That's fine. Who's the funniest footballer you've met, like banter-wise?
Oh, it's so hard. Banter-wise. Oh, man. I'm going to get... Someone's going to be like, bro, that was me. Oh, it's going to be... I'm just going to say the first one that came to my mind, David Luiz.
David Luiz, yeah, fair. As a Chelsea fan, I've seen lots of videos of him, and he seems like an absolute joke. Like, he's like the training ground clown. That's what he comes across as. Would you say that's about right?
I say he was. Now he's over Arsenal, isn't he? But no, definitely, man. Yeah, you see those videos, and he's a great guy, actually, and he's full of character. But actually, he doesn't drink, he doesn't do anything bad, and he's a really good role model for kids. He's going into different projects all over the world in areas where people are struggling, and he's actually playing his part and giving his time there to really inspire and motivate them and help raise money. So the guy's, I got nothing bad to say about him for sure, and he's hilarious, absolutely hilarious. So yeah.
Perfect. Okay, then next one. Who is kind of the most laid back, chilled out person in terms of just like easy to get along with? Like it was like meeting a mate when you met him for the first time.
Ooh, good one. I'm going to go with who's the most chilled out. Oh man, these questions are tough. These questions are really tough. Do you know what? I'd go with Messi. I'd go with Lionel Messi.
Oh, you actually met Messi? I didn't know you'd met him.
Yeah. If you scroll further down on the Instagram, you'll find
I'll find it. That's mental.
But I'd say Messi because Messi, he has the most star quality when it comes to playing football. But when you meet him in person, he doesn't even. It's like you wouldn't be able to tell that he's a football player by looking at him without knowing who he was. He's just like a normal guy wearing normal clothes, just kind of walking like. He's kind of a bit shy, and he's like, yeah, okay, I'll play a bit. He's not like full of energy or like arrogant or anything. So I'd say he's more kind of chilled. Yeah, the Brazilians are always chilled as well. All the Brazilian guys for sure. So
perfect. Right, this last one. This is a controversial one. I mean, you don't have to give me a name, but I kind of want one. Who's the least favorite footballer you've met?
It had to be this question. Least favorite football player I've met. Oh, this is.
It's going to cause issues.
Well, there's nothing wrong with being honest and having an opinion, right?
100%.
Yeah, except for it could get me into a bit of online beef. But no, I'll be honest. My least liked football player that I've ever met is the award has to go to Edgar Davids, man.
Okay, Edgar Davids.
If you're watching this, I apologize, but you brought it on yourself, really. But
what happened with Edgar Davids? Why is he not on the good list?
I won't get into it too much, but he actually played a pivotal role he thinks he played a pivotal role, at least in the movement in freestyle football. Yeah. He wanted to run things, and he didn't really have the sort of technical knowledge of the sport. Yeah. Freestyle football and football are so different, man. Yeah. Like the same thing as we use in football, but it's an individual sport. It's all about doing the most skills. It's not about scoring goals with a team. So yeah. It's completely different. And the technical tricks, if I broke down technical tricks to a football player, they wouldn't know what I'm talking about. It's like a different language. And, that's why the best football player isn't the best freestyler, and the best freestyler isn't one of the best football players, because it's different. But Edgar seems to think that he knew everything about freestyle, and that kind of rubbed people the wrong way when he got elected by Red Bull to be a judge in a World Finals. And I'm one of the people it rubbed the wrong way, actually, to be honest. Okay. I felt that he was it was damaging to the prospects of a lot of people that work very hard in the sport. Okay. So, that's just my honest opinion, and it is an opinion. People can have a different opinion, but yeah, I would say Edgar. Yeah,
that's fair enough, mate. Fair enough. Perfect. Right, that's a few quick questions done. I mean, moving slightly away from football, but I mean, it's still related to the freestyle. You, like you said there, you've travelled a lot of the world. Where are the favourite places kind of you've been to in terms of either for competitions or just personal travel?
Yeah, so to start off with, 4 competitions, I won World Championships in Malaysia, in Beijing, in Prague, in Melbourne, and where's the other one? I can't even remember. I think It might have been Prague again. That's
Okay.
terrible. I've forgotten that. Yeah, man, I'm getting old. But yeah, so those ones were for me, like, they were special because it was a
Yeah,
world championship.
definitely.
Oh, Salvador da Bahia in Brazil was the other one. So,
Brazil, yeah.
yeah, they were special for me because I won a world championship there, and that's just like a big thing, obviously, in an athlete's life. But in terms of like traveling experiences, I would say South Africa's got to be up there. I went to Cape Town, go into the township there and show the kids who have nothing skills and just inspire them. That was kind of a crazy experience.
I did South Africa with a school trip, played football out there actually, and rugby with a school tour, and it's an amazing place, isn't it?
Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Yeah, man, you know that, and you know it's a beautiful place. So, yeah, that was crazy. I would say I've always loved going to Brazil. Every time I go there, it's amazing. I actually spent pretty much the entirety of the 2014 World Cup out there.
I was gonna say, I've seen some videos of you doing some Brazilian tricks by the statues and stuff like that. Looked amazing.
Yeah, Christ Redeemer, the statue. Yeah, that was really fun, actually. Actually, the funny thing about that video, it looks kind of like professionally filmed and stuff, but I had a GoPro and I had one of those like, it's like a selfie stick kind of thing, like a pole or something. Where you have the GoPro on it, and I didn't have a cameraman with me because they'd all gone home from the sponsor that brought me there. They'd all gone home, and I extended my stay a few weeks. So I actually just asked randoms.
Really?
I was like, "Hey, excuse me, can you film it like this?" And move it? And everyone was so friendly, and they were like, "Yeah, sure." And it turned out all right. So sometimes you just gotta make things work, man. That's part of the hustle. But that was a really fun trip. And obviously watching the World Cup final in the American Isle was crazy as part of it. But oh man, there's so many trips. Even just like this is a bit of a different one. I trained a bit of martial arts as well over the last year. I really got into it, and I went to LA for a month in February, and just traveling around there and training and new discipline with different people was pretty cool. Lots of things, man. Lots of different places.
I bet you too many to list.
I could talk today about travels and experiences. Yeah,
definitely.
And people know if anyone's looking to travel once this whole lockdown thing's over, and I'm sure no one's going to be crazy eager to, but obviously we all miss that ability to be able to fly away. And if everything did return back to normal at some point, I hope it does. And a country that's really underrated is Oman.
Okay.
Yeah, in Asia. It's next to the Middle East. It's next to UAE, but it's not actually part of UAE. It's in Asia. Muscat in Oman. That's a beautiful, beautiful place that isn't too spoiled by tourism.
That's your recommendation.
That's my recommendation.
Perfect. All right then. Moving on. Obviously, again, like you mentioned there, we're in lockdown. There's not much to do. Have you been watching much TV, much Netflix, anything like that?
Do you know what? Like, I started off in the lockdown watching a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm kind of a bit too like regimented, and I don't know, man. I'm always working. I'm always trying to graft on something. So the only time I allow myself, and this might sound like, oh, this guy is too over the top with things, but sometimes you got to be like that, right? But I only allow myself to watch Netflix when I'm eating food.
Okay.
If I'm eating dinner, I can watch Netflix, and then if I finish, I can still finish the end of the episode. I'm not too over the top with things, but I have watched a bit, a little bit.
Perfect. All right, you actually mentioned it there. I was going to speak to you about food as well. So obviously, you mentioned when you were younger and you were like really stepping up your game, the diet was a big thing. Are you still really strict on diet, or do you enjoy a little McDonald's every now and then?
I don't remember the last time I had McDonald's, to be honest, man. I don't really eat that sort of thing too much.
Yeah.
If I win a competition or if like something like that, I don't mind a little McDonald's, for sure.
Yeah.
It's good food. Like it's definitely like it's not the healthiest, but it's they've got better over the years for sure. And everyone's got to like I follow the sort of the everything in moderation,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I think having like a McDonald's every now and then, or having some alcohol every now and then, if you're of the age to drink it.
Yeah.
That's fine. Obviously, there are certain like narcotics and stuff that aren't like legal and stuff like that I obviously don't think, I don't agree with having them in moderation, but everything is legal, and as long as it isn't permanently detrimental to your health, I think it's okay, man. I actually think it's good for your mind to, even if you're training and you're like eating really good for something specific, sports related, I do think it's good for your mind to have like a cheat meal or cheat day,
Yeah, definitely.
Time. So yeah, man. What's your cheat? If you had one cheat meal, what would it be?
It would either be
your go-to.
It would either be a McDonald's burger, or I am fond of the odd Domino's pizza,
Little Domino's, yeah.
But they're just so like, I feel like with those kind of foods, they are nice when you have them, but then afterwards you're just a bit like, like a bit deflated.
Terrible, man. That's it, man. And do you know what? That's the one thing about, if you do sports so much on a regular basis, you end up not being able to allow yourself to have it, because say like, I've got to train tomorrow morning. If I have a Domino's pizza tonight, I feel so sluggish in the morning. It's just training a nightmare. And then my stomach's hurting. It's just like...
It's not worth it, is it? It's not worth it.
It's not worth it. Exactly, man. So, but if I take a little break, like, when I retired, I had a few months after that where it was like, oh, I can get away with eating this, or, and that was quite a nice thing, man. And now I'm appreciating different sort of stages, and I don't let myself go too much ever, but every now and then, man.
You got to treat yourself, and you got to treat yourself.
Mackie D's, mate. Why not?
Exactly. Perfect. Right. I've also got some quick viewers' questions to go through with you. So I put a couple polls out on social media. Got some questions to run through with you. Number one, what is your favorite trick of all time that you've done? I mean, I just saw you do a video on your Instagram flipping off a sandbank and catching a ball, which was mental, by the way.
That was done cool.
Was it done in Cornwall? I thought it might have done.
Yeah, Perranporth Sand Dunes, Perran Sands. Yeah.
Perfect. So what's your favourite trick of all time that you've done?
Favorite trick of all time? I mean, to be honest, I created a lot of my own tricks, so it's probably one of them. But one of the ones that is like, you need, if you're a top freestyler and you haven't done this, you're not really a top freestyler. Okay. It's a triple around the world in one touch. Kick the ball 3 times around and then kick it again. If you haven't done that,
I could do one, but how do you? I don't understand how you move your foot that fast. Like, how is that possible?
So I'm gonna break it down to make you understand, because I didn't understand. Yeah, I'm gonna teach you the ways, man. Across a Zoom call, you're gonna be a Zoom call. Exactly. Tomorrow. Yes. But that's it, man. But so when I started, I could just about do one around the world. I thought it was physically impossible for me to be able to do a triple. And if you look at it like, how can I go from that to barely getting the speed to do that, to doing a triple? And the answer is you can't if you look at it like that always. So you've got to do everything in little subsections and little sets. Yep. So you've got to, how do I go from 1 to like 1.2 to 1.3 to 1.4 to 2? And then, you know what I mean? And you build it up. And then muscle memory, man, it's a crazy thing, muscle memory. You just start building up these patterns of movement. And it becomes second nature. You know, like when you see these little kids and they're like, they've been doing gymnastics since they came out of the womb, and they're doing backflips, and you're like, what, man? I can't do that. 5 years old, and he's crazy. And it's just the instant sort of muscle memory that they're building up. Man, you can build that up at any age up until your prime. I reckon you can start building up real.
So you reckon, in terms of the complex tricks, breaking them down is definitely the way to go?
100%, man. It's like anything, man. It's like, when you learn to drive a car, and you like sit in the car and then they go, okay, drive. You're gonna be like, what? And then you don't know how to turn the steering wheel and do the gears and do the indicator. Do the clutch control. You don't know how to do it. Then you break it down bit by bit. You make notes, and then you reinforce them. Then you go over them. Then you tell yourself little patterns of things to follow, or little like a guideline list, and then you build it up bit by bit, and you just add, like, okay, you've built this bit up, now we add this to the mix, and then your overall things get bigger. The way I see it with freestyle is kind of like, I use the analogy of like laying the foundations for a house, right? Okay. If you lay the foundations and learn all the basic moves, like all the basic control moves, like picking the ball up with your feet, with your shoulders, with your knees, with your head, the better you get at that, the bigger your foundation is, and the bigger house you can build, the more array of freestyle skills you can have, and the better you can become. So if you just lay a little bit of foundations, then you try and learn the hard tricks, it's just going to be like not as impressive in the end, and
definitely
it's harder, because when you realize it, you'll have to tear down all the walls and start again.
Perfect.
Tough, man. So yeah.
Next question: who do you support?
Oh, that's a good question, man. Do you know what? I'm kind of impartial. I'm kind of neutral, and it's it's kind of like a cop-out answer. But I used to be a big Manchester United fan as a kid, and when I got into rugby, football was my first love, and then when I switched to rugby, and then I started doing freestyle, I had a period of time where I fell out of love with football completely, and then over the recent years, the last 4 or 5 years, I've got back into it a lot.
Yeah.
And like I said before, I have quite a few friends that play for different teams across the world. So actually now what I do, I kind of just support them when they play.
Yeah.
I want their team to win because I know that they'll be happier.
They're your friends.
For them, and they're my friends. So I'm kind of like one of those, I wouldn't say I'm a glory hunter or glory supporter, but I'm just specific to those individuals in a team game, which maybe is a bit random, but it makes sense to me, and that's all that matters, right, with my opinion. So.
Exactly, definitely. Okay. Someone else has asked, what position, when you played 11-a-side football, what position did you play?
Yeah, I was up front, man, all the time, attacking. Attack. Yeah, always, man.
Perfect. Scoring those goals.
Yeah, scoring those goals. And I wasn't very skillful, A lot of people are like, I bet when you played football, I'd have hacked you out. I was like, man, probably not, because I wasn't very skillful. I wasn't the guy with stepovers. I was just the guy that, like, ran up the wing, cutting inside, play across, or have a shot, like, that's my style,
Yeah, man.
Maybe because I come from that rugby background,
Definitely.
Yeah.
All right, someone else has asked, this is a good question, Cheque. What do you make of the F2 freestylers?
That's a good question.
What are your opinions on them?
That's a good question, man. My opinions on them are, they're two guys doing their thing that have become very successful online. They're entertaining a lot of people.
Yeah.
They're inspiring a lot of people to get into freestyle. They're like, the thing that people don't, a lot of the sort of general public away from the freestyle world, they don't really understand is F2 have never been one of the best freestylers. They're never even in the top 1,000 in terms of level with trick, but they're entertaining.
Yeah.
And they bring a big crowd, and people like that. People want to be entertained, especially at the moment when everyone's just locked down and all this stuff. Of course we can do a bit more at the moment with the ease of things, but there's still so much online stuff that needs to be consumed that keeps people entertained, and they're part of that, and they're especially part of that in the football sort of skills world. With
like you said, they're not just like purely freestylers, are they? They do these entertaining videos, so they're not just focusing on all the tricks, but like you said, as a duo, they are quite entertaining to watch. I feel like that's where their success has come from.
Oh, 100%. I mean, they are good at presenting. They've been around the game for a long time, so they understand how to be successful on those platforms, and they're leading the way in the entertainment side of things in the sort of skills, football skills world. So man, I get on with the guys all right. I met them a few times. I know the guys well, so get on them all
That's
right.
fine, no problem. Now, this last one is not a viewer's question. However, I do ask it to every one of my guests, and the answer is very important. Do you have pineapple on a pizza? Yes or no?
I mean, it wouldn't be my go-to. It
But
would not be my go-to. Would I eat it? Yes.
That's fine.
There's very few things that I wouldn't eat.
That's fair enough.
I mean, if it was on a pizza, there are a few things I wouldn't eat. But,
But you would eat a Hawaiian pizza if it was offered to you.
Yeah.
That's fine. I'll take that. Brilliant, mate. Listen, we've covered a lot of stuff. It's been very, very fun talking to you. The last thing we have to do is, as previously mentioned, is complete the pressure point.
Let's do it, mate.
We have got a pint of water measured out into a jug here for Andrew to drink. Now, basically, it's a very simple concept. Like I said, I basically start the timer on my phone. I then let you drink it in as fast a time as possible. You have to say the word done after you've completed it. And
I'm going to
then
take the lid off here,
that's
right?
fine. Yeah, absolutely fine. And then basically you say the word done when you finished it. And then the times are going on a leaderboard, and whoever's top at the end wins a once-in-a-lifetime prize of a pint glass with the Reality Check podcast logo on. So, are you ready?
The pressure is on. Let's do it, my man.
On. 3, 2, 1, go.
Done.
That's not bad. That's not bad. You said you weren't a big drinker. That's not bad at all, 7.49 seconds. That's not bad.
I reckon Sam will have beaten that.
I think he has beaten that. He can drink that, bro. He can drink.
He's been around the rugby scene for long enough.
He has. Listen, mate, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for coming on the show, buddy. Obviously, guys, if you have liked the video, please press the thumbs up button, subscribe if you are new, and I'll see you guys next time.